check. She just getting by.
Hello, it's story time. I told you guys in my last video that I was going to tell my story. But before I get into it, I want to thank you all again for all of the birthday wishes, for the Cash App. Thank you guys. You know what a woman likes. You know who you are. But thank you all so much. Like I said, it feels good to be 50. You know, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, but I feel good. I really do. And I just want to thank you all so much for, you know, the messages, phone calls, Facebook posts, everything. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So now I'm going to talk about my story of survival, which I entitled Surviving Sylvester. Now some of y'all might be wondering why I named it Surviving Sylvester, and it's because, to my understanding, there were more women after me. I know at least there were 2. Now I don't think he shot these women, but he did beat them up and put them in the hospital. I mean, that's what he does. You know, that's just what he does. He's a woman beater. And if you are watching this video and you have a problem with me talking about what he did to me, then you're just gonna have to get over it, because I'm gonna tell my story and I'm gonna talk about what he did to me. So if this bothers you or it's going to make you feel some type of way, you need to just sign off, turn the video off, or whatever, because I will not be stopped. I will not be deterred, and I will not be afraid, especially of someone on the internet. And I'm going to try to be as transparent as I possibly can be. I might break down and I might not. I might be brave. I don't know how I'm going to react, because this is my first time telling the story in public, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna get through it some kind of way. And I'm already feeling a little anxious, you know, got a little anxiety going on, so my voice might be a little shaky or whatever, but I'm gonna get through it. So anyway, how did I meet this guy? He was actually my neighbor. This was in 1997, and I was outside washing my car, and I saw him across the street. You know, I think I might have waved or something, and I just went on washing my car, and the next thing I know, he sent his little brother over, and he asked me, was I married? He either asked was I married or had a boyfriend. Either way, the answer was no. And so the next thing I know, Sylvester came over, and he introduced himself, and you know, we just started talking, and he helped me wash my car. And after that, we sat on my doorstep, and we talked for hours. I mean, it was like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, you know. I mean, that's just how nice and how, what's the word? Cool. You know, he was a cool guy to talk to, you know. And he left a good impression. And so I felt like I wanted to get to know him better, so I gave him my phone number. And when he went back home across the street, he called me, and we talked for another couple of hours. I mean, that's just how well we hit it off. Little did I know. But anyway, our friendship progressed. We were never in a relationship. I guess we were more than friends, but not a relationship. I guess you can call it talking, I guess. But anyway, like I said, things were okay for a while. But then I started noticing little things. Things that I should have paid more attention to, but I didn't. It got to a point where he wanted to be around me all the time. I mean, this is a guy who didn't believe in church, but he would go to church with me and just sit in the car, you know, because he just wanted to be around me. You know, at that time I was doing my friend's hair. You know, I would go to their house and do their hair, and he would go with me, and he would just sit in the car. He just was smuggling me, you know, just wanted to be around me all the time. But, and that is a red flag, but like I said, I didn't pay it any mind. I just thought it was kind of, you know, kind of cute, I guess, you know, that he wanted to be around me like that. But young and dumb. But anyway, So that was the first thing that I noticed. And then it got to a place where he will watch me, because I was working basically a 9 to 5 job back then, and with him living across the street, he knew exactly what time I would get off, and he knew exactly what time I would come home. And if he called me, or if I didn't call him, he was coming over to my house with an attitude, asking me why haven't I called him, or why didn't I answer my phone. Again, red flags that I ignored. Anyway, let's fast forward to the first time he hit me. We went to Toys Not Park. Those of you who are from Wilson, you know all about Toys Not Park. It's place where you can go and walk around, hold hands, look at the water, whatever. And everything was cool. And I saw a guy that I went to school with. And me and the guy, we didn't date or anything, but we were pretty good friends. And so I hadn't seen him since graduation. And it was now 1997. So of course, I'm gonna stop and talk to him, ask him how he's been, and what he's been up to since graduation, that kind of thing. And so when I approached him, Sylvester kept right on walking, because I was gonna introduce him to the guy, but he kept right on walking. In fact, he walked to the car. So, me and the guy, we didn't talk long, maybe about 5-10 minutes the most. And I went on, and went to the car. When I got in the car, he had an attitude. And he was like, why you disrespect me like that? And I'm like, what you mean? How you gonna talk to another nigga when I'm around you? I mean, how you just gonna disrespect me like that? I said, well, I would have introduced you, but you walked away. Oh, he just went into this rage. And the next thing I know, he took his hand and he pushed my head like this. And he's in the driver's seat, I'm in the passenger, so his hand was like this, and my head hit the passenger window. So it was like, my head hit the window. And it surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. And so I kind of shoved him, I was like, don't be putting your hands on me. And he did it again, this time even harder. And so at that point, I knew it was time for me to go. So I was like, look, take me home. I'm not dealing with you no more. Take me home. That's it, And I was upset, and everything, but I was kind of scared too, because that was something that I never thought he would do. I never saw that coming. So, got home. I got in the house. And about 2 minutes after getting in the house, the phone started ringing. He was so apologetic to the point where I thought he would cry. I'm so sorry. I don't like you talking to nobody else. You make me feel bad, and you know how much I care about you, and I promise I won't do it again, and so on and so forth. I probably stayed mad for about 2 days. And after 2 days, I decided, I give him another chance. Okay, so the next incident, once again, we were at the park, and this was the night in question. We were at the park, and we were just sitting in the car talking, and I got a call on my cell phone. No, he got a call. And because we were sitting so close together, I could hear the woman on the other end. And she was asking him where he was and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, don't be asking me no questions, just fussing them and carrying on. And I was like, who is that? And so he gave me the phone. And I was like, hello? And she was like, who are you? I said, well, who are you? I'm his wife. Wife? Yeah. Now, he did tell me that he was divorced and that his ex-wife was living in Charlotte, but it turned out to be a lie. She was in Wilson, and they were married, and she was upset because he was with me when I guess he was supposed to be home with her. Okay, I don't do married men. So this time I was driving and I said, you know what? I'm not dealing with this right here. You know, you weren't honest with me. I did not know. Then he's fussing and carrying on. It ain't like that. She's just here and we ain't together and whatever. I didn't want to hear it. So I got on the road and before we went home, I stopped by the store. And I went in the store and I can't remember what I bought, but when I came back out, he was in the driver's seat. And I said, you need to move. And he was like, no, get your ass in the car. And he always kept his gun on him. In fact, he taught me how to shoot the gun, but I'll get into that part later. And he took his gun out. And he's like, get your ass in the car. I wanted to move forward, so I got in the car. And I thought we were going home. Well, yeah, I thought we were going home. But we didn't. He took me to this place. There's a road off of Highway 91. And when you take that road, you can turn off and there's like a path. I'll show you. Okay, this is the area where the assault took place. Back in 1997, it was much more woods. Looks like they're clearing out the land, clearing out the trees to build something back here, but this is definitely the spot. So anyway, we were out there, and like I said, it was a heavily wooded area back in 97. But, you know, you could still see that little spot. And I don't know how he knew about the spot, but that's where he actually taught me how to shoot a gun, because I had never shot a gun before. But we drove out there to that spot, you know, earlier on in the friendship, and he taught me how to shoot the gun out there. And he took me right back out there again to kill me. Anyway, so we get there and it's dark, it's pitch black, and it's in the woods. And I still did not think I was in any kind of trouble. You know, I thought that I didn't think that, you know, anything would happen. And so he was sitting there and he was quiet at first. And he was like, I don't understand why you want to hurt me. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you know, I love you and she don't mean nothing, and you know, all that kind of talk. And we ended up getting into an argument. So then he pulls out the gun and he points it to my head. And he was like, get out the car. So I'm thinking to myself, why does he want me to get out the car? And so I just sit there and I look at him and he's like, get out the car. So I got out the car. And then he got out. He came around to my side and he pointed the gun to my head. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, I can kill you out here right now and no one would ever find your body. And he was right, because we were out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I showed you the video. Who would really look for me out there, you know? And so, that's when I got scared, really scared. And then he told me to take my clothes off. I'm like, why you want me to take my clothes off? And then he yelled, take your clothes off. And then he put the gun right to my head. So I took my clothes off. And I'm just standing there naked. So then he starts cussing and fussing again, and the whole time he's hitting me, and I remember falling over, and I remember trying to get up off the ground, and I remember him kicking me, and I fell again. And you know, but while this was going on, it's like I kind of checked out, and I thought about something that my great aunt told me a long time ago. She told me that the worst pain anybody could ever go through was the pain of burying their child. And that's what I started thinking about. My mom and dad are going to have to bury their child, because I just knew that was it. I said to myself, you know, he's going to kill me. That's it. I was just that convinced. And like I said, he's still hitting me and knocking me down and stuff. But like I said, I had checked out, and my mind was just on my family. You know, I can't describe it no other way. But I had pretty much checked out and had accepted my fate. But then it shifted. And I remember I was on the ground, and he told me to get up. So I got up. I'm still naked. I got dirt all over me. And somehow he found my clothes out there in the dark, and he told me to put them on. So I put my clothes back on. And got in the car. And I couldn't see myself, but I knew I was bleeding, because I could feel it running. I could feel the blood running, you know, out my nose, my head, or whatever. And he started the car up, and we drove off. So while we were on the road, he called his wife. And he said, I've done something fucked up. I need you to find a t-shirt and some pants. And it didn't dawn on me until later. Why? It's because, you know, my clothes were dirty and my shirt was bloody from the blood that was running from my nose and mouth. And before we went to, she was at his grandmother's house. And before we got there, he stopped and got him something to drink. I can't remember what it was. And we went on to his grandma's house. And so we went in, and his wife looked at me. The way she looked at me, I mean, it's like she just froze in fear. You know, I guess I was looking that bad. I mean, I don't know how I was looking, but I knew that I was beaten up, but I didn't know, you know, just how bad. But the way she looked at me, I knew, you know, I was beat up pretty bad. And I could just see the fear on her face, you know. And she was pregnant. And there was another little girl there as well. And she looked like she might have been about 3. And so anyway, she had the t-shirt and some pants in her hand, and she laid them on the coffee table. Okay, when we first got in, there was a couch to the left. And so I sat down on the couch, and then there was a table there, like a coffee table in front. And this is where she laid the clothes at. But I was scared to move, you know. But during this time, and I left out something, he had been drinking. And so, and by the time he drunk whatever that was, I can't remember what it was. It might have been a Old English. But by the time he drunk that, he was like really, really drunk. And the whole time I'm just sitting there wondering, what is he gonna do? Because he still got the gun on him. And so he's just, you know, he's saying things, he's not making any sense, you know. He'll sit down for a minute, then he'll get up and start cussing and carrying on. But I did notice that the alcohol was starting to get to him. And he was kind of swerving when he walked, you know. So I said, okay, it's just a matter of time. He's gonna sit down or lay down. Something gonna happen. And I just kept watching him. And where I was sitting at, there was a room to the left. It was a bedroom. And I could see in the bedroom. I couldn't see the entire room, but I could just see. And I saw that there was a bed in that room. And so, you know, he will walk to that room. He'll sit down for a minute. Then he'll walk to the kitchen. You know, he just, I don't know, he was just agitated. So anyway, like I said, I just kept watching him. And then he did it. He dropped the keys on the coffee table. And he went in that room. And I saw him lay down. I knew then, said to myself, Angie, you ain't got but one chance to do this, to get away, and to get away safely. You ain't got but one chance. So I was scared and I was nervous. But I jumped up, I grabbed those keys, and I ran to the door. And it was like, it's kind of funny to me now because it reminded me of, you know how you go to the movies and you watch a horror movie and they're trying to get through the door and they can't open the door, you know, they can't, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to get away from the killer but they can't get the door open. That's how it was with me. You know, I ran to the door but I couldn't get the door open. And it just so happened when he heard me get up and start wrestling with the door, he came up behind me, and I know he hit me. I'm thinking he must have hit me with the gun. Whatever he hit me with, it was hard, and it kind of froze me for a minute. And I don't know. I think I might have blanked out a little bit, blacked out. And anyway, for a moment, something happened. I blacked out for just a moment, but then I snapped out of it. And somehow I got that door open and I ran to the car and I could hear him shooting, but I honestly did not feel it. You know, a lot of people wonder what it feels like to be shot. I couldn't tell you because I didn't feel it. I guess it was just my adrenaline. I don't know what it was, but I didn't feel it. I heard him shooting me, but I honestly did not feel it. And so I got in the car and I drove myself home. And I went in the house and I went straight to my mama's room. And I said, Ma, he tried to kill me. That's all I remember saying. Next thing I know, I wake up and all these doctors and nurses are standing over me. And I remember them saying, there's another bullet wound. There's another one. There's another one. You know, that's what I remember hearing them saying. And I blacked out again. They must have given me something to put me to sleep or whatever. I don't know. But when I woke up again, I was bandaged all up in a hospital bed. And that's when I found out that I had been shot 5 times. I was shot here. Can't really see it, but there's a wound there. Was shot here, and you can't really see him. Oh, there it is. There. And here, bullet went here. Actually, 2 went here, and then in my bladder. So that made 5 gunshot wounds that I had. And through the grace of God, I didn't have to have any surgery. And And I'm a walking miracle, because you know, you hear about people dying after being shot once, but I survived being shot 5 times. And I was running away from him as he was shooting me, and really he should have got me in the back because I was running away, but he didn't. I mean, I could have been paralyzed, but I survived. And you know, God's grace. You know, a lot of people, they always want to say, or they always want to give people a timeline. But I'm a living witness that you're not going anywhere until God says so. Because the doctors had given up on me. They thought that I was going to be another homicide. You know, that's what my family was telling me. They really did not look for me to survive. But it just was not my time. And now more than ever, I'm convinced that I don't care what it is you're going through, how sick you might feel, or whatever, you're not going anywhere until God says so. You know, we tend to think about people dying too young or whatever, but it was just their time to go. And I've often wondered why I was spared. I feel like I've always felt like there was something I was supposed to do. I just don't know what. It just hasn't hit me yet. You know, I do have a lot of talents, you know, but I know that He kept me here to do something. I just don't know what. And I've asked, and I know that in God's own time, He will reveal to me what it is. Some people have asked me, well, do you think that you want to preach? No. Y'all know me. I don't like to talk in front of people. I don't even want to be talking here because, for one thing, I hate the way I sound. I don't have a beautiful speaking voice like my sisters, you know, Carla and Karen. I got the ugly, flat-sounding voice, so no, I don't believe I was called to preach. But if you ever do see me up there in the pulpit, you will know that, yeah, that's got to be God. So, you know, and people will be like, well, how do you sing? Well, you know, I sing so well because I'm up there with a choir. You know, I'm up there with somebody, you know, backing me. But you get me up there to do a solo, I'm going to crash and burn. You know, and so when I'm doing these videos singing at home, you know, I sing so well because I'm in my house. But anyway, I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to do. But like I said, I know that in God's own time, He will tell me why I was spared. Because like I said, you hear people dying after one gunshot wound, and here I am, you know, survived 5. As far as Sylvester Ruffin is concerned, it started out as attempted murder charge. Somebody had hired him a very good attorney, because that's what it started out as, and his bail was $1 million. And it started out as an attempted murder. Then he took a plea, and it dropped down to assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. Okay? Then it dropped it down again to assault with a deadly weapon. By the time they were done making deals, it was assault on a female. And he only did 4 years. Yeah. 4 years for shooting a woman, and it wasn't even in self-defense. Don't you just love the justice system? And I've seen him once since then. You know, I don't know. I have no idea what he's up to now, but I did hear of 2 other women that he did beat up. I'm not sure about how much time he got. I don't know. I don't know all those details, but yeah, he is a bona fide woman beater. And like I said, there were signs, there were red flags, but I just, you know, I was just one of those people who I just never thought anything could happen to me. You know, you hear about things happening to other people all the time, but you know, you say, well, that's not going to happen to me. But it could have happened to me. I mean, there are so many women who were killed by people that they knew, people who they thought cared something about them, you know. Women die like that all the time. So I could have very well been just another woman that died. I mean, but I'm still here. And if I could do it differently, then I know I would have just stopped everything with him when he started smuggling me, you know, wanting to be around me all the time. And those are some signs that ladies, you know, we need to pay attention to. And that's one reason why I really don't mind you sharing this video. Please share the video, because I know there are women who are being beaten, and you know, they might be afraid to get out of it. I understand. And so please share this video. Give it to your daughters, nieces, you know, young women, because you know, when you're young, you don't really pay much attention to stuff. You know, you know it's not right, but if you're anything like I was, you just have this idea that, well, it's not going to happen to me, but it can happen, and it does happen. So please pay attention to the signs. And for me, the first sign was him just wanting to be with me all the time. And then, I didn't mention this, but he got to a point where he really didn't want me to spend time with my friends anymore. So, you know, just it was like an obsession. You know, he just wanted to be around me all the time and taking me away from my family and friends just to be with him all the time. That's not healthy, and that's not normal. So ladies, if you are with a man like that, you better run, because that's not a good thing. It's not. And like I said, he had started watching my every move. He knew what time I was supposed to be this place and that place, and if I wasn't there, it was a problem. So if you're with a man that has to know your every move, that's not good. And definitely, if he raises his hand to you to hit you, that's not good. And I'm convinced, you can't tell me any different. If a man will hit you one time, he will hit you again and again. Because I honestly believe there are men who hit and men who don't hit. And the men who have that mess in them to feel like they can hit a woman and beat on a woman, they're going to keep doing it. And there are many women who die, you know, from abuse like that. So please, please, if you are in an abusive relationship, get out of it, please. That's not love. That's control. You know, that's not love. And you might be in love with the person, and you might feel like, you know, I can't get nobody else, but trust me, you will get over it, and somebody else will come, you know, if you want somebody else. But that's not healthy. That's not love. I don't care what nobody says. A man is not, a real man does not put his hands on women. And vice versa. There are some women who like to, you know, get all up in a man's face and all this kind of stuff, and that's not good either, guys. So if you got a woman that's, you know, mean and want to beat on you, you better run too, because women kill men too. But yeah, just please share this video, please. And it's really, I don't know if you all are really paying attention now, but these millennials, it's like their whole culture is so much different than it was, you know, for us when, you know, we were in our 20s. It's so much different now, because now you have videos of guys beating women, and it's funny. Have y'all seen a video of the girl that got knocked out with the skateboard? I mean, he could have killed her, right? But did you hear the guys laughing in the background? That's the world we're living in now. I mean, when I was growing up in Woodson Chapel, if a guy would have knocked a girl out like that, oh, them Chapel guys, y'all know who y'all are. They would have been all over him. But now, it's funny. It's like people, it's funny when, you know, when a guy knocks a woman out or whatever. I mean, they're just, it's funny to them. It's just not, and I don't understand. I guess it's just the way times are changing, but you know, it's not funny to me, and it needs to be stopped. You know, the violence, the bad treatment, the disrespect, it really needs to stop. It's not funny. And ladies, please don't let a man beat you. You know, and some of y'all might think, you know, well, he hit me, you know, I'm gonna hit him back, we gonna be fighting. Look, that is not anything to brag about. Just because you can hit a man or knock a man out or whatever, that's nothing to brag about. That's something you need to run from. That's not a good situation you need to be in. So, you know, even if you can't fight, even if you can't beat his butt, still, that's not a good relationship. You know, relationships should not be built around violence. So please, that's not a healthy relationship if you have to fight. So get out of it. Because you might not be as blessed as I am. You know, and I think about that a lot. You know, there are some women who really do not survive. Anyway, that is my story of survival. And like I said, feel free to share it. I don't mind. And, you know, if you want to leave me an encouraging message in my inbox, I welcome it. I'm not going to tolerate no mess. You know, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you know Sylvester and you have a problem with what I said, then you're going to have to get over it. Because I waited 20 some odd years to tell this story, and I told it. And I feel free because I really believe that it's going to help somebody. And that's the main thing. I want it to reach somebody. Somebody needed to hear it. And you know who you are. And you also probably know of someone else that might need to hear it. So share it. I don't mind. I don't mind. Thank you all for listening, and I hope that you have been encouraged somehow. And I just hope that it has really touched someone and reached, you know, the right people. And I guess that's about all I have to say. But thank you all again for all the birthday wishes, for all the love. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Can anybody relate to that tonight? I made it, yeah. I made it through another day's journey.